Yeah, go for it, man. Go for it. Guys, I did not know my boss wanted to do going post-race interview up front live. I did not know that.
We good?
We're good. Yep. Boss, I set up another post-race interview live. Yep.
Well, not from Georgia. I mean, it's over for that. Oh no, it's the last lap. So like they're not gonna call. I mean, he can have 4 laps. Yeah. Yeah. Tap at the end. No, it was the last 3 races. No. No, talk about the last one. I know that. Yeah. So, should we just do the top 3? Yeah. Do the top 3. Yeah. Okay. All right. Eli, ready? Good. Hey guys, thanks for patiently waiting. I know there's so much to talk about. There's so much to review together. I know there's some really big highlights and some interesting contacts as well. So we'll get to discuss that all together once we go through this. Because I just want to get together and just appreciate all you guys coming out. Again, this is our 3rd race. I hope it to be super clean, but we had some weird interesting contacts, but it is what it is. But I just want to thank you for coming out. I want to announce the winners. Now we do have a secret report. We're not sure. There might be some disqualifications, but I want to announce at least the top 3 winners. So can we get Victor? Victor, where are you at? Victor, congratulations. Top 3. Congratulations. Jordan, 2nd place. Congratulations. Does it feel weird? 2nd place. Next, we got Jack, 1st place. Congratulations, sir. Alright, take some quick pictures with you guys in first. Awesome. You got pictures? You got a quick video? Alright. Good. And do one wide if possible. Wide? One wide? Wide beat, instead of vertical.
Like this?
Yeah. Good? Perfect. All right, everyone, the participant, come on in.
Alright guys.
One horizontal, one vertical. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. SIM1Racing! Did you hit it? Are we good?
Video?
Take 2? Take 2?
Go for it.
SIM1Racing! All right, good? We're good? Yay! Very good, very good, very good.
I took fun.
All right, we're going to do the review.
Where's Andre at, bro? Bring it back, bro. Record some of this.
It's up to you.
Oh shit, bro. All the pictures on my face. It's not that serious.
You can get it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get to see some of it. You want to see what happens. Everyone's just like, I guess to combine that together.
Did you end the live?
I did, and then I restarted it. But you can change the name of the live, the current live, to post-race interview. If you can. Is it going? Because I didn't know Felix wanted to continue the stream. Is it going? Yeah, so we keep you. I thought we were just done in the video. I like, bro. I hate my heart out.
No, it didn't.
This mic is on. Yeah, David, you want to come down? Right, so we'll go into the commentary box. And we'll get to yapping. So I didn't get to see much of your race. You were sat a lot in the back, weren't you?
I was like sitting 7th, 8th.
7th, 8th, kind of?
Yeah.
That quarter deal? Yeah, actually I did see your race. I saw you guys, I couldn't pick you out in the bunch of the crowd, but I saw you guys really duking it out in there. Like you were in the dust, man. Like you were in the dirty dirt. Yeah. What's wrong? Perfect. So you can hold this.
All right.
I'm gonna turn this off. I'll try and comment as best I can on your race events that I saw personally. So, lap 1. Can you break it down for us?
All right. So lap 1 had a really good start. Moved up from last place up into like P12, right? And I was in the mix of a battle. It was like I think like 5 cars up to like 7th or 8th place.
I saw that. Yeah.
I think we all survived the first lap, and then heading to the second lap, got a little messy there. I think it was turn like 3.
Yep.
It got a little messy where people spun out, some contact here and there.
Yep. As racing goes.
Yep.
Yep.
Thankfully survived that, moved up into P7. And then we had a clean race from there, getting some good laps in. And then towards like the middle of the race, like lap 15, 16, was overtaken by, I forget who, but one guy, and then moved down to P8 and just kind of settled in there and finished P8.
I saw, especially at that beginning section of the race, maybe around the first like 5 laps, you guys were really going like back and forth.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were just straight spinning out in front of you, the whole lot. So what's really going through your head when you're thinking, you gotta just keep your head down, you gotta survive, hope for some luck so you can get some position back? Like, what are you thinking there in that moment?
Well, in my mind, I was like, I'm definitely not the fastest racer here, so I'm just hoping for some incidents ahead of me and just keeping it clean and just hoping to kind of stay behind the guys in front of me to try to claim those positions as mistakes or incidents happen.
Right. So when did you start here at SIM1, and do you sim at home as well, or have you practiced a lot here?
I usually don't come here that often. I do know Felix from church, and I started my sim racing like overall 2 years ago.
Oh, sweet.
And I started here back in February.
Okay.
And most of my sim racing is done at home on Assetto Corsa or Le Mans Ultimate.
All right. So would you say for these simulators, when you're going neck and neck and you feel it like shifting around and throwing you about, and you could literally feel the cars bashing side by side with you, do you say it brings out the immersion and really like makes you almost fear for your life a little bit when you're kind of going neck and neck with people in that huge cloud of crashes and everything?
I mean, it's definitely crazy. Like, it's definitely totally different from a simulator at home. I wouldn't say I'm almost fearing for my life, but it definitely brings out the immersion as you can feel the G-forces and every single bump in the road.
Right.
And like the tires are slipping, or you're spinning the tires or you activate the ABS. So definitely helps you in the fact that you can feel what the car is really doing.
Right. We're gonna have to edit this part out because I don't have any more questions.
All right, that's all right.
Let me see. I want to ask you one more good one.
Maybe something like, about me being a high schooler, you know, because
You're in high school?
Yeah.
Guys, guys, he's in high school. He's this fast. How was your qualifying performance?
It
overall?
was rough.
It was rough.
I didn't practice as much because AP season's around,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So I did like an hour of practice at home today. I qualified last, but
Right.
it was alright though because I was able. It was actually fun because I was able to kind of move
Like,
my way
move
up
your
and
way
fight
up,
my
yeah.
fight my way up instead of having kind of like a boring race where I'm just kind of sat in the middle.
Right. So high school, you know, I started sim racing when I was in the 8th grade, and I know how hard of a journey that was to try and get fast. So how do you juggle school and sim racing? You know, do you take sim racing very seriously, or do you just from time to time nowadays?
I guess there was a point where I was like grinding Le Mans Ultimate, trying to get the my driver ranking up, my safety ranking up.
Right.
But I guess now since we're in the heat of AP season and you know finals and stuff like that, sim racing's kind of been put aside. But I like to hop on the simulator whenever I have the opportunity or the free time to do so.
Sweet. Well, I think that's all we got time for right now. So
All right, cool.
thank you so much.
Of course.
I gotta go get the next guy now. So
All right.
I'm gonna leave this in here. Thank you, David. Everybody, guys, a local here at Sim1 who races all the time. So sweet. Let's see. Huh? Yeah, we gotta get the next guy.
Can you interview me?
Why
I was
you?
the cameraman.
Bro, I'm not interviewing you. My coworker, everybody. My coworker. We have fun here. Lighthearted. Jonas. Jonas. Let's go.
Hot seat.
Yeah, you got the hot seat, bro.
Where am I sitting?
You got the open one.
This one?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Hopefully it's not too warm here. Would you like a water?
No, we're good.
Yeah, I don't have one. So. All right. So your race. During qualifying, I really saw that you ended up. Oh, you can just
okay. Oh, you have one. All right,
have
cool.
one. Yeah. During qualifying, I saw that you were really struggling out there to get under a 108, even though you were like near the topper end during You're near the topper end during practice. You were on the low ends of the 9s. And do you feel like it was just a matter of your practice not being able to extract the most out of the car in the moment, or the fact that the pressure of the race overall is what kept your pace a little bit down compared to everyone else?
Well, practice was a little chaotic. I tried to go out later and dodge some of the people and get a clean track. However, I wasn't able to find one. Of course, it's practice, so a lot of people are going to make mistakes.
Right.
And spacing yourself out is kind of like a luck factor. You can't really control how you space yourself out, unless you know exactly how everybody's going to drive around the track, which is almost impossible. But yeah, I couldn't find a pace at first. Very difficult car, very slippery. We're on very hard tires. The sidewall does not flex very much. It's hard to find grip. It's the back end of the car likes to swing out a lot, and it's something I'm not familiar with. I couldn't find the rotation on entry for the car unless I was trail braking a lot, which really made me slow around the turn. Right. But then you go to the exit and then you pay the price, right? So you get a lot of understeer on entry, and then it's just, if you want to have a good lap time, then you're going to have to floor the car a lot earlier. And then that just really made the back end swing out. The car wasn't really happy. So I would say not being able to adjust my brake pads really hurt the way I drive the car. Because when you're really not comfortable driving a car, you normally try to use brake pads as a way to mask your mistakes and get yourself a better lap time for free. But yeah, that's exactly how it went. Race was a whole different story.
Yeah, let's speak about the race.
Yeah.
So I saw, was it you that had a little bit of a bashing incident in one of the roughly middle of the race?
Yeah, so sector 2,
yeah.
It was turn 8. The beginning of the race, so let's start actually from the very start.
Yeah,
so
we can start from the start.
Yeah, so I launched good.
I saw you got a good launch.
Yeah, I had too much wheel spin, and then I went into second gear, and the car just didn't like it, and it completely killed my RPMs. So that was a bad start. And then I ended up, making turn 1 in 8th place. So I went down 2 places. And then turn 6, I had some damage to my front bumper. Then kind of like lap 3, turn 8, I had even more damage. So I had damage on my left hand side, right hand side, and I had suspension damage. So my steering wheel was crooked the whole race.
Oh, that's gotta sting.
And then I had a little bit more moments on lap 5, turn 7. And then that's really when it killed my lap time completely. So I was not able to gain as much straight line speed as the rest of the grid. So usually like the back straight of turn 7, I believe, you can go up to 6th gear. I was not able to reach 6th gear at all.
Just because of the drag.
Yeah,
right?
I had too much drag. The body was deformed, but I was still able to keep pace, 108.9s, 109.1s consistently. So that wasn't too bad. But unfortunately, I was, too far away to catch up.
I saw that during the race, particularly, you started firing up. You started gaining a lot of ground really quickly, which is something we didn't see all week from you. Even on the leaderboards, you weren't able to get into the 108s, but you managed to get to it during the race.
Yes.
So did you feel like all your practice went into that, or was it just a flow of the moment kind of thing?
I would say the car, after I got the damage, fixed itself in a way. So the fact that I was able to not have this understeer on entry, it actually wanted to oversteer a lot more because of the suspension geometry being different due to the damage. It really made it much, much better on corner entry, and corner exit felt so much better.
Right.
So it's more like it was in the moment, right? The car felt different, it behaved different, and it really suited my driving style a lot more. But it just ended up being slower compared to the rest of the pack. Which, Rafał had really, really good pace towards the end of the race.
Yep.
Very, very impressive, by the way. And David raced very well. We had a battle that lasted 6 corners.
Yeah.
So I was able to come out on top despite the damage. But, it's racing. You don't always win. It is what it is,
Yep. As you can tell, folks, SIM1 always, everyone, even though we're like drilled competitors here, very nice people all the time. So speaking of drilled competitors, I wanted to ask you, navigating a really broken up field with a lot of damage, how is that for you? Like, you said you had to fight with David, and I saw a couple of earlier on, you had to really like fight and scrap your way through.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys were swapping back and forth all the time. It was a huge pack of you.
Yeah.
Like I'd say the whole like bottom 10 of the grid were just really going at it. So how would you say fighting with damage, fighting with a crooked wheel, and you have drag, and you're trying to try and stay in the slipstream just to stay at the same pace? Like, how does that feel? Like, what's going through your mind as you're really trying to fight with the car to keep it in line?
It's different because your competitors are going to take different lines that you're going to take, right? I don't have the downforce with damage that they did have, so I had to brake a lot earlier, and I had to change my line. So normally turn 3, you would take a very shallow line and kind of like hug the inside as much as you can, like brake in the middle of the track. I had to go all the way out and just trail brake my way through. It just felt faster. It was actually faster, and it just made it so much more easier to process what was going on. Also, last 3 turns, very complicated, right? It's like you go through the chicane, 2nd gear, then you short shift into 3rd gear to kind of like gain traction, and then you just floor it all the way through. So what I actually had to do is I would come in through the chicane on 3rd gear,
Right.
coast, downshift 2nd gear, and then last turn I would floor it. So that was a small change I had to adapt to. You can't really drive the car the same. People are going to take different lines. They're going to have advantage over you in mid corner. So where you really have to shine is going to be in that corner entry. And if you're battling, unfortunately, you can't really take the inside.
Right.
So you're going to have to, apply a different strategy. You're going to have to kind of like work yourself in a part of the track where you attack through the outside, but then the next turn leads you into the inside. So the other driver has no choice but to let you by. that's kind of like the strategy I applied with David and a couple other guys in the grid. The backpack was very aggressive. It was very difficult to kind of like stand my ground compared, to the people in the front. They're much nicer because they want to work together and they want to reduce damage as much as possible. But again, the bad guys have they have a lot of weight on their shoulders. They want to, get into the top 5 and so on,
Right.
stand on the podium. I think it's a great moment when you stand next to Jordan, next to Vic, next to Jack, next to John, all these people who are always here consistently, setting good lap times. And then, we're all here at SIM1Racing just to push each other forwards.
Right.
We're all trying to be the best that we can. And, it's usually the way it goes.
Yeah, and last note, but here we have our very own Sim1 coach with us. As you can tell, he's talking very accurately and data filled with all of his knowledge about even just driving damaged and a little bit unprepared about how his thought process just is different from maybe how other people might think when they're just driving through on a regular day-to-day basis racing, because everyone races every day.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time. And
Absolutely.
that's all we got time for.
Yeah.
So thanks, bro.
And I just want to remind the audience that tomorrow, Monday at 7 p.m., we have adults class. We will be talking, I'll be talking about sports cars and how to drive them, how to get good at them, how to get fast, which is similar to what we drove today. 5 p.m. will be kids class with Satay. They're very fun, very entertaining, packed with knowledge. You get 20 minutes in classroom, and then the rest of the time is in the sim. We will coach you the way through. We want to see you improve. We want to see you compete with us like we did tonight. Whoever wants or has the doubt of coming to SIM1Racing, please show up. You could attend classes. You could meet the owner, Felix, very nice guy. And then we will get you up to speed. And then hopefully we can see you guys, some new faces in the monthly championships and the weekly races as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Jonas.
Yeah,
No, thank you for
absolutely.
competing. Thanks for making it a fun race.
Thank you.
All right, we got to get, I think we have 2 more people left. So we got to get Victor. Victor! Yo, it's time. It's time, pal. All right, Victor. You ready, buddy? You're going to be a bit embarrassed when you watch the video back later. But
Why is that?
nothing, man.
Wait, my video?
No, my video. So you can sit there.
I love the live race?
Yeah.
Oh. No, you'll
So-
be fine.
Victor!
We're here.
How you doing?
I was looking at you.
Yeah. So you can hold it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I have my own mic, so you're
Oh,
good. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
So during the race, it really looked like you had the opportunity to win a couple of times, and I know you've been coming here a lot to try and practice and really hammer it down at least once, and hopefully next month will be your month. But when coming out with a performance like this where it seemed like, honestly, from an outside eye and looking at your practice even before the races, you weren't anywhere near Jordan or some of the top guys, coming out and pulling out one of the fastest laps of the race right near the end. How does your mentality just push and try and win and give it everything come into play when you're driving across a race that long?
Yeah, so, and thank you for the question, by the way.
course.
During practice, my car was extremely loose, and everybody else's car is loose because we're all doing the same setup. But there was so much traffic in practice. So much traffic. And then qualifying, my sim was not shifting up or
Right.
down at certain points. So that cost me. I started 9th. Truly disappointed because my pace wasn't there in the beginning. It was in the weekly challenge, which was the same car, same track.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I feel good. But then in practice and qualifying, it was just like a disaster. Started 9th. Few people got in incidents, but I was able to make a few good
Yeah,
passes.
We saw that beautiful recovery story.
Thank
and
you.
I spoke on it a lot about how you're really, this is the part you're going to be embarrassed about, is you're like the homegrown hero around here. Everyone looks up to you because you spend the most time here. You work on your craft a lot, and it shows real results. No one really thought people would put a candle towards Jack or Jordan in this race, and I'm not going to say especially not you, but, not anyone who's from here,
Right.
especially with how much experience they have. But, you really put the fist up towards them and said, hey, I'm here. Maybe you didn't win, but, I'm here and I can be just as fast. So how did that feel when you were going back to back with Jordan? It felt like you get that surge of energy of, hey, I'm sneaking into his nose. Maybe I didn't get the move, but I'm sneaking down, and this is giving you that little extra boost to be, I can win this, or maybe next time I can get them. What does that feel like for you?
Oh, it feels a lot more motivating, and it made me push the car a little bit harder, because when I finally caught fifth, because they were all battling there, it was insane. Like they were all battling.
We caught all of that.
Yeah, and I was like, once I got the draft of fifth place, I was like, okay, I'm here. Like I'm able to actually maybe win this race, because they were all trading paint and going back and forth with the lead. And these guys are fast. These guys are not slow. It feels good to be in the top three of the fastest people here. I did get the fastest lap of the race, that with 2 minutes to go after I figured out the car and everything. But these cars are very fast. Shout out to Jack for winning the race. Jordan's obviously extremely fast. It feels good to know that I was as fast or faster there, but it also stings at the same time, because if qualifying would have been great and good, I probably would have had a good shot at the win there. But at the same time, I'm not going to take that away from Jack. Jack is extremely consistent, and he's fast, so he did good.
So now let's speak about your racecraft. I mean, you probably had the best example of, in the entire race, keeping your head down, waiting for the good opportunity, waiting for the good moment. What goes into that while you're thinking, okay, push, 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 I have the chance, but also, keep your head down. We're trying to wait for the golden goose. What goes into that while you're driving?
It's just finding a rhythm. When you find the rhythm on the track and you're braking in the same places that you're braking, you're gassing it the same way each time. Obviously, you could push a little bit harder there, because if you notice, if you brake early at certain corners and the car goes into the corner a little bit slower than you could, then how do I say it? If you go on an entry and you're braking too early, you can tell. So you can probably brake a little bit later and get a little bit, better, faster lap time.
Right.
But yeah, what was the question again?
Just about how, what goes into, like, really when you're pushing it, but you're also trying to hold back a little bit, wait for that opportunity.
Yeah.
Like kind of, sink yourself in your seat and, not get too zealous, not bump someone in the rear end,
Okay.
something like that.
I remember now.
Yeah.
It was my rhythm. I was braking and gassing it the same way each time. I really wanted to focus on consistency today.
Right.
Because in previous races, I would be too aggressive and always trying to find more, which, I mean, it's not bad. But sometimes, there's that one corner that you cannot push it too hard. And I did that a few times in previous races, so I didn't want to mess that up this race, especially being so significant, which if you win the race, you will be part of the team. So in terms for my rhythm, it was great. I was in a really good flow. And I was getting in the corners better, in the corners that I knew I could be better, but the corners that I know was going to be treacherous, I did not attempt to take it a little bit more aggressively, because I know if I take it more aggressively, I will either spin out or cost myself the race. And I had already started way in the back to be costing myself a podium finish. So it was good.
And it all turned out beautifully for you. I mean, I was intermittently watching you throughout, and really on the commentary box, we were trying to just see, there might have been a chance or two there in the end where you might have been able to catch up, but it's just unfortunate that you put the fastest lap down and they were only 0.01 of a second off of you. Like, it was incredible. When you watch the replay, you guys were all lapping 1.8.5 or 1.8.5 of a second, all of you at the same time, the same lap in the last 3 laps. The chance where you had to really catch up, and it's just unfortunate that you didn't get that opportunity. But we all saw your racing, and it was just really clean today. So
thank you.
I think a future win in one of these championship events is really possible for you.
I mean, I feel it. I feel good. I felt really great out there. I keep getting this streak of third place finishes, and I don't know what to do, especially when I know I'm fast. And it's like, damn, I could have really won today. I'm not saying today, but it was like a general example.
Right.
And man, like we were all running the same lap times there. I was looking at the lap times. I would be 108.5. Then Jordan is 108.5. Then also Jack is 108.5, and then it will be me faster in the next lap, and then Jordan is faster, and then Jack is a little slower. So I was like, oh well, maybe we'll catch him. But then it will change. It will flop again.
Yep.
The next lap it will be the same way. I was like, oh, this is not gonna happen. If they don't mess up, there's no chance of catching him because we're all running the same exact lap times.
Right.
There I started to lose Jordan at the end a little bit, and then I started to reel him back in. So that's when I ran my fastest lap with like 2 minutes to go.
Yep.
But it was too little, too late. Definitely gotta make sure that there's no issues in qualifying, clean up qualifying. From my end, I know I could have got faster, but things happen. The sim had a little bit of issue, but at the same time, I'm just glad I was able to come back, get this podium, and I walk away feeling good because I
You
did
should
get
feel
the
great.
fastest lap, and I worked my way up to third. It wasn't easy. These guys are extremely fast, so I'll take that. Congrats to Jack again. Thank you again to Sim1 for providing this opportunity to all of us to be able to get the chance to be part of the team and go get trained, which is what I lack because I don't have a simulator at home. I come here to sim, and I come here like two to three times a week. Thursdays mainly, Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. It's usually when I come here. Some weeks are more than others, but I just like the atmosphere here. I love the community here, and it's only 10 minutes away from my house, so I'm able to come,
Right.
enjoy the atmosphere, and we try these weekly challenges out because a lot of people try the weekly challenges, and we're fast.
Yep.
So, yeah, very thankful for the opportunity, thankful for the comeback, and thanking you for giving me this interview.
Of course, man. I mean, you were a joy to watch, bro.
Thank
So,
you.
it was
I
good.
appreciate it.
Yep. So, homegrown hero Victor, that's all we got time for now. I'm gonna keep calling you that, man, because you're the love story of Sim1. You're everything we stand for. So
Yeah,
thank
appreciate
you, bro.
it. Thank
Hope
you
get
so
the win
much.
next time, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
I hope so too.
Yeah. All right. I think.
Sorry if I didn't answer all your questions right. 'Cause
Oh,
I
you
was-
answered
I
them
was-
perfectly.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we just gotta get Jack now because it's live, bro. So we're just getting the recording later.
We'll be right back. We're getting
Yeah,
the
we'll be
winner.
right back. It's still recording here. I don't know if Jack hopped on. He might have left. Yeah. Actually, let's.
Oh, it might be in here.
Yeah, he might be in a race. Sorry about this live stream. Good job, man. Good job. Did Jack leave? Yeah? You want to interview? P5, bro. Let's go. Yeah. You're going to be the last one, bro. Yeah, man. What a race that was. Old interview duo back at it, sir. All right, close the door. Close the door. Yeah, that's it. Yo, we're doing an interview for real. For any OGs, RAF fans, you guys would know we've been going at it for a while. So, post-race interviews, pretty regular for us. But so, RAF, the race, it was intense.
Oh yeah.
I saw your beginning. You really ended up struggling. I gotta get in my groove again.
Mhm.
You really ended up struggling in the beginning. I saw that the pace was completely off. You got super unlucky, and unfortunately, Sim1, we are working through issues and kinks, and the simulator RAF was supposed to start on that was set up for him in practice and qualifying completely conked out. So RAF didn't get to compete in practice basically at all, and in qualifying he had to get used to an entirely new simulator. And even though they are the same, small differences, and that makes a difference. So, RAF, with your race, let's focus on the good, man. Like, really, let's talk about the end. I think that would be a good place to start because during the commentary, RAF overheard he was the one who was driving in here with me because his simulator got cracked down, so he had to be in the stream room.
That was a good help, because I
Yeah.
got to kind of
I was
understand,
Scooting in some little call outs that RAF probably couldn't see, but I
You
mean,
know, I was waiting for a call out to say, "Oh, something's happening in the front," so I could, you
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
attack a little bit.
it was in good faith though, because Otto and John were really, they were about to duke it out. And this is where the question comes in. You know, were you really waiting for that? Because when you see two drivers going really hard at it, it's a last lap, last fate opportunity. Like, what goes through your head as you're trying to just shoot for that hole and really try and get the bullseye there?
Yeah, well, it really started since the very beginning, since my practice. We had the issues with the simulator. Then I got, into the qualifying with a different simulator and all that stuff. So starting back, I had the idea of, let's try to keep some pace so that I could eventually attack in the front.
Right.
And I gained a couple of positions, but then I got stuck in the back. I did a couple mistakes. I had one really crazy one where my wheel went back and forth a couple times, but I did manage to keep it on track. And it was actually very similar to a real life race of mine in New Jersey, where someone went off track, and then the whole group got back together. Everybody got closer, and I had an opportunity to attack and get a better position. And that's exactly what I was waiting for now,
Right.
The second I heard you say that, they're starting to battle, it's looking like it's going to be very close.
Absolutely, without fail, commentator curse every single time.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are, a small-time commentator like me, I say something, all of a sudden he spins off magically, and it's not like I did it, but you got to take advantage of that opportunity. And
I was stressing. To be honest, it was very stressful.
From personal knowledge and practice that Raf had run before, he was running 108.4s, which would have put him in the faster slot of drivers prior to the race. But unfortunately, due to the sim setup issues Raf had to deal with, that made him thrown off. And we got to see a bit of that pace at the end. So what was that second win like? Was it me commentating and being like, these guys are losing it, that made you go like, okay, I really need to gain a second or two on these guys and keep within the 109s and 108s? Or was it just, okay, I've done it before, I have the pace, I can get a 104, or a 108.4?
Well, your commentating definitely gave me a boost. I'll say that.
A little bit of cheating here.
Yeah, but you know what? Throughout the whole race, the time I realized that I'm more on the back end for now, I was like, all right, let's just work on a better lap. At one point, I did get a fastest lap, and I was like, all right, that kind of gave me some wind in my sails. And I was repeating in my head constantly, just try to stay close to the group in the front, and you may get reap some of the benefits, So
And
that's what I was trying to do the whole race.
Super lucky. And just let's talk about some of the early race stuff. Lots of incidents, lots of bashing through. Did you find it any similar at all to real life? As when you get into a start, it's craziness, people are flying around you, and you got to just try and keep your nose clean and stay alive, and really just try and hope and try and claw your way out as you're getting through a bad qualifying, and now you're starting surrounded by people who you don't know how they drive, and you don't know what the pace is going to look like. And it ended up being kind of like how I said, just saying, I'm pretty good. But, dealing with all that, do you feel like past experiences have helped you kind of temper yourself when you're seeing everyone fly right by you, or you're getting kind of a little bit lost, you're still trying to get used to the car while you're also trying to push and compete? Like, how does that all feel for you?
Definitely. One thing I always remember that my father says is, to keep it calm in the beginning. Try to just stay on track, because it does get really crazy.
Yep.
I would say the sim's a little bit more surreal because there is a lot more contact and stuff like that. But, sometimes on turn one, the whole grid just slams into each other. But it's occasional.
Lucky we didn't get that today.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So it was definitely more like a real race. But yeah, I mean, it was just exhilarating. The start was exhilarating.
Right. So about the simulator, you had to just hop in. Would you say that it was so much different from the other one or other times you came here, that it made a competitive difference for you? Or do you think they're about equal in how much they perform?
No, I would say they're equal. If there were mistakes, they were very similar to other drivers. We had some problems with shifting. where a shift wouldn't register for some reason, but
Right.
almost every driver was having that issue. So it's something. It's the little things that you guys need to work on, but it's
Yeah.
it's part
And
of
we are working on it.
exactly. It's part
We
of
are
the
working on
simulator.
it.
Like it's technology. But I would say it wasn't much different. The only difference was that the one I was supposed to race on previously wasn't moving, so it wasn't like a motion simulator.
Yeah, and a lot of you guys may have seen it in the stream, but a lot of the guys out there do have it set up for the motion off because for a competitive advantage, that is technically better, but it's not any sort of real big difference, but it does make things a little more stable. You're not being thrown around as much, so you can try and focus and lock in on the race a little bit more. But
Yeah, that's
dealing with that, let's say,
it's one of the things that helps
you know,
me.
I know you were practicing for this race quite a bit on your Thrustmaster at home compared to something like one of these. So how does it apply taking some of that like video game knowledge that you're taking from home and applying it to a real like simulator? And now you're trying to produce the same kind of stuff.
I would say the biggest thing is the line. Trying to find the line. Once you get the line down on the simulator at home, you can incorporate it more into these simulators. Otherwise, these simulators are a beast compared to
Right.
what I have at home. But I prefer these a lot more than I do the one at home.
Even mine at home.
Yours is great too, but yeah,
Mine
these are impressive.
It's not 70 grand. That's all I got to
Yeah.
say. So P5, happy result. I think it was a happy end. This is going to be end of stream, so thank you everybody for showing up. Please come to SIM1, Paramus, New Jersey, off of Route 4, open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every single day of the week. And all of our passes and monthly stuff are available all the time. We have weekly sprint races all the time and a monthly race at the first weekend of every month, so similar to this one. And yeah, so come out. The monthly race, you can always compete for, like many of the drivers said, a spot on the team or a free gold membership. You actually get both. So spot on the team is not guaranteed, but after review with other drivers, if you're a nice guy, you'll be in. So
Yep.
Thank you, Raf.
Thank you.
Yep.
It was an honor.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Good night again, because I said good night earlier and I didn't really mean it. But yeah. Thanks for showing up to the post-race interview stream. A little bit separate from the normal one. So please leave your comments and whatever down below if you liked it or didn't like it. And